system, immigration and security policy in France. And with just 3 weeks until the country goes to the polls, it's given the presidential candidates a new focus for their campaigns. Well, the journalist and French political expert Nabila Ramdani is here with me. Nabila, first of all, obviously this is going to become an issue in the presidential election campaigns, but who do you think is likely to benefit?
Well, I think we've seen how President Sarkozy, who is of course a consummate politician, has played enormously on this tragedy to his own advantage. He's appeared regularly on television and he has tried to highlight his reputation as a tough law and order president. And I think that he's managed to convince people to a certain extent that he was very much the man in charge who was able to sort out this whole issue.
But that could backfire, couldn't it? There are lots of questions being asked about whether the security services should have intercepted this man before he carried on killing. So if he's the man who's taken charge of an operation that turns out to have been ruled to have been botched in some way, then that does him no favours.
Yes, very much so. And there are questions which are emerging already about the huge security failings in the whole handling of the operation. This is a man, the man who was killed, of course, is a known extremist who had links with terrorist organizations, and yet the French authorities were not able to put him out of, to remove his freedom from him effectively, and effectively allowed him to carry out further atrocities. Of course, he was known by domestic intelligence that he went abroad on trips to Afghanistan and indeed Pakistan. He was on a US no-fly list as well. So that effectively raises issues about this very reputation that Sarkozy is trying to build for himself as the man in charge.
But as you say, for now he's enjoying a bounce in the polls, and it must be a frustration for François Hollande, the socialist opposition candidate, given that it's shown that Sarkozy is a man of experience, first of all, perhaps highlights that Hollande doesn't have so much experience, and it's allowed him to stop talking about the economy.
Yes, but I don't think, my personal view is that I don't think that this minor success in the recent polls for Sarkozy will translate into the crucial second round where François Hollande, his socialist rival, is currently ahead with 10 points. And I think, you know, this whole idea that the presidential election can be resumed to the killing of a young terrorist is absolutely misleading. France's voters are the same as voters the world round. They're mainly concerned about the economy and issues like the cost of living and indeed tax. And Sarkozy's record in that respect hasn't been very good. And let's not forget also that France hasn't had a socialist president for 17 years, and there's a feeling that it's about time to give the left a chance.
There is also a month to go before the first round of voting, isn't there? So a lot can happen between now and then. But in the short term, what does this do for the far-right candidate, Marine Le Pen, who's already talked about the need to wage war against fundamentalism? Will this give her campaign a boost?
She has definitely tried to capitalize on this tragedy as well. As you said, she highlighted the fact that France is needed to tackle a fundamentalist issue that she says has been understated in France. There is no doubt that the Islamic terrorist bogey man is the kind of figure that is very much used by rebel-rousing politicians like herself. But France is still, I don't think that the scenario of 2002 where her father went through the second round will be repeated, and I do not believe that she will make it to the second round for that reason.
Well, it'll be a fascinating month ahead anyway. Nabila Ramdani, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.